All in my key profession on the key possession. I'm OD aggressive when I run the rock. See me flexing in the winner section. If they press, I'm bombing on them off the top. Slump a hater, leave them in the field, or I'm in the kitchen whipping up a dot. Took it from the bottom to the top. Certified Madden money shot. Toss a bullet, hit you in the chest and send a burner across your face from out the slot. Please don't test them, I bring heat and brush it. Have my hitter brush you, move you out the spot. Slump a hater, leave them in the field, or I'm in the kitchen whipping up a dot. Took it from the bottom to the top. Certified Madden money shot.
If you guys are looking for fast, cheap, reliable coins for your college football 25 team, check out my coin sponsors at MMOXP and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 5% off your order. Link in the description below.
The champ is here!
Welcome back, Money Teams. This is Mad Money Shots, sniffing out the college cheese as always. In today's video, we got a brand new team, a brand new playbook, and a brand new offense as we're using Kansas for the first time because I found an absolute cheat code of a running scheme out of a gun empty formation, which is crazy. But before I do, as always, if you guys want to see more videos like this, please make sure to be a subscriber, hit the like button, and let me know in the comment section. And if you guys need more help and more money plays, you can download any of my ebooks instantly sent by clicking links in the description or the top pinned comment. Other than that, I'm still in the Heisman division, and I'm playing against a team that has a much higher rated overall, as well as a much higher rated defense. We're going against one of the highest rated defenses in the entire game. And to make things worse, he bombs me over the top on the very first play of the game. So I'm expecting a pretty tough competition here. The offense I'm going to be using today, and the reason that I chose this team is because I'm going to be using an offense called the gun empty spread, which is only found in two different playbooks, Penn State, which is where I found it, and Kansas. And the reason I chose Kansas is because they have two quarterbacks that both have 88 speed, as this is mostly a run heavy offense. So make sure that you set your ball carrier to conservative, as I am going to be running with the quarterback a lot in this game, and they're programmed to fumble more even on running quarterback plays. So I'm going to set it to conservative, basically turn that off. Now, as far as my audible plays go, the bubble screen has to be one of them. This is one of the best plays in the formation. They also have the QB slot option, which is probably the best run play, as I can use this as an inside or an outside run play, which I use to take the place of other run play options like the QB draw and the quarterback blast, which are both very good. But like I said, I can go anywhere I want to with this particular play. And of course, my opponent comes out in this new mid blitz because everybody in the Heisman division is such a tryhard. So I'm going to switch over to this bubble screen play, as the A receiver here doesn't typically beat man coverage, but it does a great job against defenses like man zero blitz, as we make one man miss and we're gone.
He could go all the way!
As we respond with a one-play touchdown the very first play as well. Back on defense, I really didn't have a plan for this video, as I really just picked the playbook for the offense, but they have a lot of really good defensive plays, as on the very next play, we start hitting him with some QB spies and he tries to take off. Only to get a fumble animation, and we're getting the ball back inside of field goal territory to start the next drive. And after that first play, he's now made an adjustment where he's going to bring these cornerbacks down to basically press these receivers so that I can't get that bubble screen off, as he's actually using this receiver quite a bit. So the next play, I just switched to my double zigs concept, as these zig routes should get open before I get hit 9 times out of 10 as we get a first down on that play, before I switch to my absolute favorite play and the reason that I'm using this offense in the first place in the QB slot option. As normally you could pitch to this receiver here, but on this particular play, he basically just sets the edge 9 times out of 10, which makes this a very easy run play for the quarterback. As you'll see here, he doesn't quite take out the defender, but he basically does a good enough job to the point where I can just run to the edge for a very easy touchdown. Back on defense, my opponent wants to run the ball a lot as well, as he's running with his running back and his quarterback, but all that ends the second I start putting a QB spy out there, as he decides to keep the ball this time and just lob it up, thinking that he can moss my defender.
How about no?
And since he's mainly following these bubble screens with his user defender, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the QB draw, as it has the same fake bubble screen. As you can see, he takes himself completely out of the play, allowing me to almost rush for a first down on 1st and 10. And then to get the first down, I just switch over to the QB slot options. I can really take this run play anywhere, as I don't have to take it outside, and we just break it off short to get the first. But I can't just use these dink and dunk run plays the entire game, so if I want to push the ball down the field, I pretty much can do it out of the all go every single time. Although in the first play here, I really didn't like what I saw, so I just took over the quarterback once again to make sure that he knows he always has to worry about that. And I want to go back to that bubble screen because I had so much success with it. And if you're going to run this bubble screen, just make sure that you always run the 3 wide receiver side to the open side of the field. It's going to give you the blocking advantage and the space needed for this play. But you can see how he's still still using this route, as I have to take off with the quarterback instead and get a loss of 2 yards. So if I want to open that up, I got to threaten down the field a little bit, as we don't get the catch on 3rd and 3, force me to go for it on 4th and 3. And at any point in time that I want to pass with this play, I'm always going to put the X receiver on a comeback, the Y receiver on a slant, and that's going to be my man beating side, while the other side is going to be my zone beating side with these 4 vertical routes. As I really just have to read the zone side from front to back, and on the next play here, for whatever reason, he just doesn't leave the line of scrimmage.
What?
Giving me a wide open pass right over the middle before I decide to go back to the QB slot option and run a little bit of clock. And watch how this dude blocks, as on the very next play, he takes out 2 different defenders, including the user, as they're both there, more than capable of stopping this outside run, but I just have to run around it. As like I said, he's more of a blocker than an actual pitch option 9 times out of 10, as we almost get the first down. As this guy clearly doesn't have a defense outside of man zero mid blitz, so I basically hit him with a zig before getting the first down on the ground with a QB sneak, and he's still in this, so we're gonna go right back to running the ball with that QB slot option, as I have nothing but faith that this particular guy is gonna cut off this edge. And that's because the edge defender is also the pitch defender, which means that he can't aggressively crash down on the quarterback, since that is technically a pitch. As you can see right here, he doesn't go for the quarterback, allowing me to get outside, and then if I wanted to, I could always pitch to that guy anyway, as this play is basically a glitch at this point. And I probably could have scored on the next play, only it looks like my quarterback is either injured or just slowed by fatigue, so I pitched the ball out, only to see that every time I pitch the ball out, I typically get an incomplete pass, which is better than a fumble. So I switch out my quarterback with my other 88 speed QB, and I basically have to run a bad play based on the fact that I'm running out of time, giving me only about 14 seconds left to score from 3rd and 11. And I'll take a field goal on a 2-possession lead and be happy, but I decided to go to my zigs play once again, basically motioning this X receiver so I can have inside leverage, leaving him only 8 seconds left on the clock. In the second half, I get ball 2, and he tries to go for the onside kick, and he almost gets it, putting me in great field position, and if I could score here, the game's probably over. So I go back to my verticals play, and I see that he's probably in a cover 3, so by putting this X receiver on a comeback route, this A running back will probably get open above that cornerback once he crosses the safety. But I roll out a little bit too dramatically to start the play before I see it, essentially costing myself a 1-play touchdown. On 3rd and long, I decided just to give myself a drag for a check down, as I'm thinking I could probably catch and run this. And if I would have waited a little bit, I might have had the first down there before I have to go for it on 4th and 3. And I'm not too sure what I'm looking at, so I call a timeout, as this play is just too important. As on the next play, we give ourselves that drag and check down once again. And I also give myself an in route at the RB position to essentially give myself double drags, and that was definitely the right call, as my opponent looks like he tries to cover the short routes, letting the A receiver get open right over the top of him for a very big first down. As this offense really makes you cover the entire length of the field, as we see on the next play when I try to go back to the bubble screen, that now he's running cover 2 hard flats. So we're going to run the ball once again. As you can see, I have no issue getting outside with this 88 speed quarterback before I realized that I never switched back to my starting quarterback. So on 3rd and 6, we put him in, and I go right back to my all go play, as I can see on the very next play that it looks like it's in the zone coverage, so I start with my eyes on the zone side, knowing that I can work my way down to the drag, only to see this RB receiver get wide open for the touchdown to basically secure this game. As my opponent is so desperate at this point that he can't even complete a pass, as he's essentially just bombing it up into coverage, trying to moss my defenders, as we get another interception.
Gotcha, bitch!
But I still got to run the clock out, which gives me an opportunity to show you guys a couple of other plays, like this motion halfback speed option play that's available, as on the first play he hadn't seen it before, so we get a pretty good run with it, before I try to go back to that bubble screen and end up getting a penalty for offensive pass interference, meaning I'm going to have to push the ball down the field, which is not really what I want to do by putting the ball at risk, but I'm up 3 touchdowns in the 4th quarter, so we go right back to the all-go play, only to see this guy get wide open up the cover 3 seam, and if I would have caught and ran that, I probably would have scored. Since he doesn't want to give me those bubble screens, I'm just going to switch it up to the wide receiver double screen, as this is essentially the same concept. It's just going to work best against zone coverage, and that seems to be what he's running. And all I really have to do is watch to see what side of the field he's not on. As he's on the open side of the field, so we go to the short side of the field, even though we don't get much, before we go to the open side of the field in the next play, and he's nowhere to be found, and we almost take it to the house. Before I go back to running the ball with the QB slot option, and he's basically just following my running back around the field at this point, which is perfect. As on the next play, he follows the motion, knowing that I'm going back to that speed option play, and tries to cut off to the outside, although he doesn't do a very good job, and you can see I get another incomplete pass. Before he gets an an erratic penalty by running into my offensive line, making it 3rd and short, and I just pick it up on the ground with another QB sneak. And he's basically given up at this point, trying to figure out how to stop this offense, and now he's coming out in a punt block or a punt return formation. I'm not really sure. So I call this play with the motion, as he's been following that pretty much every single time, and he leaves the middle of the field wide open for a very easy touchdown to essentially end this game, as he runs the clock out on himself at this point, as he must be too proud to rage quit or something. So I'm going to end the video there. If you guys want to see more from the defense that I was using, as I also had a lot of success, I'll have that popping up on screen. So just click the links, and until next time, thanks for watching, man. Wash it out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.